Okay. Hey guys, today we're here with Brian Powers, owner of Crossfit Oahu, and we're gonna go ahead and take a tour of his gym. Let's do it.
Hey guys, here we go. Let's check it out.
So how big is the gym?
I think it's 13,000 square foot maybe, so pretty big. So we've got the turf, which is pretty cool, which was the dream. We did that. We've got 3 lanes with kind of the sleds and the yokes and the strongman equipment, and we have some agility stuff that we do for the kids, which is pretty cool. We have the cargo net, which was what I wanted, but really it's probably mostly decor. So something to think about if you're ever going to buy a cargo net. Like we have like 5 of us that have climbed it, and then every once in a while we'll bring it down. We have the ropes and the rings, which are awesome. It's really useful to be able to put them up and down. So we've got the graffiti, which is pretty cool.
Any members do that?
Yeah, we had one of the members do the graffiti over here. And then we had somebody that we've known for a while, 808 Urban, if you check it out, he does kind of a lot of art with the kids, Prime. He did the big one, and he brought everybody in to do that. And it was like the only thing that we didn't plan out in the gym, and it turned out awesome, although it looked really dubious while it was getting done. We're like, I don't know if that's going to be very good. So we got that going on. I got to perk up. I'm on midday swing. Get in at like 6 and the cops is running.
We'll add some happy music to it, and all of a sudden.
Lens flare?
Yeah, and then we'll like
hopefully that's
put some wind in there somehow. Make a hair blown wind.
Yeah, so parallel bars. Should be in every gym. I don't know why it's not as in the original CrossFit gym, and I think maybe because Rogue doesn't make them and they're kind of expensive. Basically, they shit on the Matador dip bars. Those are terrible. Plus, if you're going to have a gym and you're going to buy like 20 Matador dip bars, you might as well buy a set of parallel bars anyway. Shipping's kind of expensive, but you use it all the time. And it's obviously the intermediate step before ring dips, especially so you don't have like 30 green bands on the ring dips and stuff like that. We've got sandbags, which we've filled up, and which are great. We'd like triple, quadruple sandbagged it, and took somebody like literally 4 days. Ian McGill, if you look them up on Instagram, they have not leaked in two years. So that's pretty useful. A bunch of mats that we got on a government liquidation auction.
Sweet.
So
how often do you guys use that?
The mats get used generally a decent amount for shenanigans. For useful stuff, we could use them for useful stuff, and they have been used for useful stuff, but not on the regular.
What made you go with a rig in the middle versus in the hole?
Because we have one, great question. We really have one straight wall over here, and we wanted to put the turf over here. And we thought linear feet for pull-up bars will have actually measured out more linear feet for pull-ups and more pull-up stations and more squatting stations this way. And then we can have the wall completely open for people to do, not that you can't do wall ball with a wall-mounted rig. We have a wall-mounted rig at our other facilities. I really like it, depending on the layout of the facility. Here, this just kind of worked a little bit better, and then we can kind of break the gym up into 1, 2, and 3 classes. So that's really easy to schedule different sessions and different things.
3 classes at once?
You could actually do more classes at once. Because you could have the oldie stuff going on, you could have something going on upstairs when we have the mobility and things. But if you have a big space, you should use it. Otherwise, you probably won't have a big space. I don't know, chicken or the egg. But yeah, like Kaneohe, we put the wall-mounted rig, and YPO we had to put it in the middle though because it's kind of a long box, and there's no way to attach it to the wall because it was all drywall. It would have wiggled quite a bit, so we kind of were forced to put that one in the middle there. Maybe we got a front desk, people sign in. It's really hard. I don't know if you guys go to another gym. Probably hard to sign in. We've got the cabinet, which a member built for us, which is sweet. So we put the new shirts up there. We've got Mark. He went to the games. He got 3rd in the games. And actually, he's been to the games a couple times, so as Will. We have a couple people. But actually, when he won that medal, the scoring was messed up at the games, believe it or not, and he didn't get to stand on the podium. And then later we found out, just by going online, because you know people get berserker and they go online and check their scores, that he had actually been number 3. So Dave Castro made that guy send the medal to Mark and didn't even pay to send the medal. from that guy. So that's how Mark actually got the medal from the other guy that was awarded. It's pretty weird. So that's it. Mark's pretty cool. He's still around, still going. Just to match everything, we put the Rogue rig in, which is cool.
So did you like just buy a rig literally to make a retail space, kind of ish?
We did. We don't want to sound like that, but we did. We did, and we made the boxes and stuff. And kind of the interesting thing is we made the boxes, and then we went to the games, whatever year it was. This was a little while ago. And Rogue actually does when their retail spot with boxes really similar to that, which I thought was interesting. Because that's kind of the way that you can do it. And we have a lot of water. If you want to check that out, we love our water here, obviously. We got some boxes people sit on. Pretty cool. Kids room. It was pretty cool. So when I was in the Army, I went on leave and I like slept in my car and I stayed like a week maybe, cruising around and went to the original gym in Santa Cruz, which you guys can go watch the stuff. And so the Pukey shirt is the original CrossFit shirt sold by Greg Glassman, 2005 maybe, something like that. So that's pretty cool. We have the original CrossFit military shirt that I got when I was in the Army. And then they had, if you go on the forum, they used to have a CrossFit shirt voting contest, so that was the one that they voted for. Doesn't have to be fun to be fun. Amazing. I think the other one they came up with later is Unfuckwithable, which is good. That's an old school one. And that was our original CrossFit Oahu shirt. So we got some pretty sweet frames, and we just threw that up there. Kind of throwback to the original gym. Some history. So we ended up putting more pull-up bars in, just pretty much anywhere. Pearl City's kind of like that too. So those are good. The Oli Pit, people can come lift in the Oli Pit is the dream. So like Michelle right now, she does really well with it. She's at American Open right now. Rick is the other coach. He went to College Nationals, probably forgetting the right name of that. But you know, we got that, members come in, we've got a lot of great lifting stuff. But you know, you don't need all the nice stuff to lift at our other facilities. People still lift, they get along fine. It's probably more about who you're lifting with that probably makes it more than the nicer stuff. We've just been able to get the nicer stuff, so that shouldn't stop anybody from lifting. You just have to be consistent, I would say. That's usually the problem. you can edit this out, so just like the video. So we get in these phases. I get in these phases of things I want to do. So we were like, okay, we got a airbrush gun from members, so we're like, sweet, we're gonna do this airbrush thing. So we went on YouTube and looked up some airbrush tutorials, and we made like a paint booth. And the dream was to have like one of each type. There's ones at the other facilities. There's a blue one, there's a unicorn one, there's some other rowers. And so yeah, we did it, and then like motivation just went like down sharply like after doing 3 of them, because you gotta like take it apart and sand it and everything. But there's some relics of an ancient, you know, empire of doing that. So the demon rower is always good. It's always there. It's a fan favorite. Probably some of the cooler stuff. We work with a lot of military units, so we've got a crap ton of coins. Those are legitimate coins for doing them, or sometimes people just give us one randomly, but you know, we work with almost all the branches on island. I didn't actually make that, so I don't have a needlepoint phase, but we got that from a member. This is pretty cool. We got a thing from the Senate congratulating us on our expansion and all this stuff, which is pretty cool. Just Army stuff, kind of our first newspaper articles. Little link up here are, if you want to come check this name out up close. Keone, who's now East and West Oahu, worked for the newspaper, so he came over to do an article, and then he stayed to do CrossFit. Yeah, that's history. That's what you guys came for. That's what you guys came for, secret knowledge right there. Yeah, boom, mind blown. Outdoors, we have nothing. We had the dream.
What's up with this rig? What was
okay,
that
so
part of the dream?
This was the original rig that we built before Rogue was a thing. So we built this, we went and haggled for some steel, and we went and made it. And if you go on our Flickr page, there's like photos of us at like 4 in the morning building this with like a home drill press, which we had to change the bit like literally like every hole. And it was just retarded and terrible. And then we welded it together ourselves, and it lasted for a while, and we put it out here. Probably not giving it the respect that it deserves. But if you notice, the pull-up bar is like super thick, so we used to have a lot better grip strength, and it used to eat up a lot more people's hands. But yeah, this thing worked. If you go back to our old photos or old original gym, this is what we had in there, built to fit.
Awesome.
Yep. So, DIY skills. Oh. We got like kind of a gymnastics area, mobility area. We have some pads that were left over, so we put them up here. We built the stall bars, but I would just say buy them if you're going to do it. They're great. That should be in every gym too. There's a lot of exercises. People probably don't know the exercise, but the ton of exercise is super good. We got like kind of a little mini climbing area kids can hang out on. It's meant to do some other strength stuff up here. The Dave Durant ring thing, you can make your own harness. We used to make our own harness, but people would mess around with it all the time. So I got this one, so people can't mess around on it. But it really is the way to do it if you're going to get muscle ups. Like, you can do progressive overload on it. You just got to be diligent. Everybody will get a muscle up. We put a bar so kids don't fall out of the window. And people don't use a pegboard, but pegboard should probably be a thing. Yeah, what else we got? Got a bathroom, shower. I think a lot of people ask for shower, but not the same 5 people use showers, but it's pretty good. We used to have to walk around the corner and use like the neighbor's bathroom. That was part of the lease. And then I can't deny this, but they claim that our people were washing our feet in the sink. So I don't know how they saw that, but I can't deny it. If they were, it's not representative of all CrossFitters. I'm sure there's somebody out there that washes their feet in their sink. But yeah, we don't have to do that anymore, so that's amazing. That was a big perk. And originally down there, I don't know if you go on our old Flickr and stuff, we built our original bathroom. This one we actually didn't do. We got people that knew how to tile and stuff. So that was good. We've got, in here we've got a room, we kind of use it for the kids' vision stuff. We do some lectures to the military in here, use it for mobility. I would say next year, I think we just locked in a bunch of yoga stuff for that. So that's going to be pretty cool. Good multi-purpose room. We really didn't know what to do with it when we built it.
You ever jump on that thing too?
No, I'm terrible. I grew up doing like breakdancing, gymnastics, wrestling, like single people sports. So any ball sport, like team sport, I'm just terrible at. So football, basketball, baseball.
You gotta show us some of those breakdancing moves.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, so we got an office. The office kind of morphs around depending on what's going on. Right now we got some new shirts in, stuff like that. Pretty much where we work. We got this cool poster. It's for being one of the first 50 CrossFit affiliates. So that's pretty cool. So we framed that up. Find it kind of ironic because it says unviable, but then they have Reebok shoes on. So I wonder about that. And then the stopwatch has 420 on it if you want to zoom in. So they thought they were clever, but we found the Easter egg. We've looked at it enough. We have a member, Maureen. She wrote us that poem. So that's pretty cool. And then we always put the staff picture up here. We got staff Christmas party that we did. It's pretty cool. We have a 60 kilo, 135 pound lifting barrel that we moved up here because nobody lifts it. It is actually built for strongman stuff. So we bought that off Craigslist from a guy, and now we use it as a desk. And we got a dog. Speaker system was pretty cool. We basically had zero money, and then we saw this like massive speaker system on Craigslist, so we decided to go buy it, and ended up working out great. But at the time, it was a really gnarly decision. But the speakers are great, and we have great parties in here and things like that. So if you want the speaker system, go buy it. More of the story. Other than that, there's a bunch of random equipment, big size stuff throughout. I mean, we got a 240 pound kettlebell. We've got the fans, which work pretty well. People still think it's hot, so you probably know there's no escape from the heat in Hawaii, guys.
Awesome. Thanks so much for the tour. The gym is amazing. Huge spot, but obviously we got to see the outside and kind of where that first rig was. So can you tell us a little bit about your story getting to this point?
Yeah, I was cruising the internet as one does, right, 2003, late 2003. So I found the original CrossFit website, which you can go back on the archives. Like if you look at the web page, it's going to be on the right-hand upper side, you can go back to the old 2003 archives and you can see how it was. And I liked it. I come from kind of a gymnastics wrestling background. I did a little bit of Olympic lifting and wrestling conditioning stuff, so it made sense. And I was in the Army, so it kind of all made sense. So I was kind of following it intermittently for a while. Doing a lot of Pavel Setzeline stuff from Dragon Door. If you guys remember that old school stuff, like there's a book, sweet book called Naked Warrior, which is like one arm push-ups and one-legged squats. So, but it's pretty cool. All the tension set is really cool if you find it. Did that for a while, and then on the old message board, you guys can go actually find it somewhere. That's the only place to comment. There's no YouTube, there's no Facebook or any of this stuff. So found a guy. I was like, hey, is anybody out here in Hawaii doing this? And there's a couple other people, but they're like further away. Like I was in Kenya, they were in Waikele, so that felt like super far from me. I didn't know what was going on. And so I found another guy working out in Kenya, Greg Cates, who's a Navy SEAL. So I work out with him in his garage all the time. And then we started doing like a once a week free park workout because there wasn't really any CrossFit gyms. The original CrossFit gyms were going to be like Rob Wolf's gym, and then Dave Warner, Seattle. Those are like the original CrossFit gyms. And so we did it like once a week, free park workout, and then like probably like 80% of the time like nobody would show up, so we just work out ourselves. And then around 2006 I got out of the Army and we're like, okay, we better do something, and we opened the first gym. So that's kind of how we opened the first one.
Sweet. I mean, it's funny. Like a lot of you hear like a lot of gyms who start park days.
Yeah.
And then you're here, this kind of mogul on Oahu now, right?
Yeah.
And with park days. And so, where was your first location?
On Hart Street. It's in Waikemila, on top of the Diatani Produce Building, which is probably the worst choice ever to put a CrossFit gym on the second story of something. So yeah, they let us out of the lease there, which is amazing, and we moved over here. This building was half the size, and it was really gnarly, and there's holes in the roof and everything. So we've slowly kind of probably done too many tenant improvements without asking, but you know, we like tinkering with stuff, and members like it.
It's ask for forgiveness, not for permission. Then.
We just didn't have any concept. I'm sure if there's other gym owners that are out there, they know all about parking. I never thought about where I parked before going to business. Now I park by the rules. I promise. I park by the rules. And noise, we didn't think about noise. You know, neighbors are gonna hate you. We didn't think about like the walls are really thin. Drywall, you're gonna bust a hole in drywall. Maybe like somebody will. I don't know who it is, but they're gonna do it. But yeah, here we have double concrete walls. We can do as much noise. We got a running track outside, so it can run before we had to run through the parking lot. People hated that. So those are all cool things. I mean, it doesn't stop you from doing anything, but it just kind of makes it harder.
So that's how you got here. Yeah. But now you're not just here. You're actually 5 gyms, right?
Yeah. So I don't think we had a master plan for anything. So that's kind of tricky. We have a lot of great coaches. I mean, that's probably the coolest thing. Even by just coming across as a member and hanging out with cool people. So, to be honest, I don't know how we got the idea in the head, and I don't know if there's a lot of multi-gym kind of situations around. I was trying to find other owners to talk to about it, but we just started because we had people that wanted to work, and and we did it, and it worked out. So, Kailua and Waipio kind of opened at the same time. We figured if we're going to do one, we're going to do 2, I guess, and we did that, and that worked out. And then we followed the same template like a year later with Pearl City, and that's worked out. And then now that we've had that just kind of behind the scenes, we've kind of been tightening up all the structure because we went really quick and there was kind of not a lot of structure, so we kind of tightened it all up so that we can have it all figured out for the members and coaches and stuff. I wish there was a better plan, so maybe one day, like when they erase this video off the internet, of how we had this awesome business plan. But I mean, people love CrossFit, and CrossFit was growing too, so that was definitely helpful. I mean, a rising tide floats all ships, so maybe we were good or maybe we were lucky. I don't know.
So it's like, okay, so you get these 5 gyms. So just so we can get like, because I don't even have any idea conceptually of like how big you are, right? So like, how many members?
You know, this is a crazy thing, and I mean, I'm going to beat around the bush with the question, because we get this a lot with visitors that come in, even with the 5 gym term.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so what got us to the 5 gym? Trying and continually, you know, instead of tinkering stuff, trying to make stuff better, like continual improvement or whatever they're gonna call it, the Kaizen or whatever. But so, yeah, like members or square footage, a lot of owners do square footage. Because you say 5 gyms, but then you could have 5 gyms that are really small. Yeah. I mean, we could have like 10 gyms that are really small. But does that mean it's a small gym is bad? Yeah. I mean, you guys have been to most gyms on island. The small gym doesn't mean bad. So it's like, how are you trying to work with the members? So yeah, if we have a crap ton of members, or we have no members, or we have a lot of gyms, or I just think it's the wrong thing to focus. Obviously, we have a lot of members because we have people here, but I think that throws people off because you could bump up the membership number by a lot.
Yeah.
Right? And you could bump up revenue by a lot. You could bump up these things. So maybe are you doing a good thing? Like the thing when Maureen wrote us home. I mean, how we could write you home. It's pretty sweet. So yeah, we have a couple of members at gym, but it's not the right thing.
Yeah.
I don't. It's something you have to pay attention to because if you don't have members, then you're not going to pay the bills. But you should be trying to make the classes better. And it's just through personal interaction with members.
Yeah, right. I mean, completely understanding. It's like, yeah, your focus isn't about growing the members, but it's about improving the quality of instruction, and then the side kind of after effect of that is more members.
And yeah, and that grows the members.
Yeah.
Right? Because I don't know, I mean, somebody's smarter than I am with marketing, but we don't really do a lot of marketing, so I don't even really know how people come. They come through the website, and they come through people, they tell them, so if you do a good job of class, they'll probably tell people, which is, maybe there's a better strategy later.
Well, maybe if you answer this, and like to me, I guess, I see this as an awesome success, right? And so, obviously, with all your 5 gyms, you're creating a good amount of jobs and kind of just things that people can do, right? And so, how many coaches and kind of staff do you think you have then?
So we kind of have we have coaches that work a lot, and then we have some coaches that kind of work a little bit, which is fine, but then they train for classes and stuff. So we probably have like 40 people, but we do have people that we would consider full-time, which would probably be part-time anywhere else, but the people that work over 20 hours a week, they're more like full-time coaches.
Probably for you.
Yeah, right? And it's great. You know, if you get GI Bill or something, we do that. We have health insurance, and we have benefits, and we have the time off and stuff like that. So we've been able to make that happen.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Those big gyms that will offer their full benefits package.
Technically, if you're 1099ing your people and they're not, you know who you are. I mean, you can look on the website, but you know who you are. I mean, but it's something you got to do, and then you get up, and then people work over 20 hours a week. Got to do it anyway. So, I mean, you're trying to treat the members nice. The coaches treat the members nice, so maybe the owners should treat the coaches. Maybe it works like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it works like that.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So it's awesome, kind of see the facility that you built, and seeing kind of how much you're able to provide for your coaches. And so seeing as you're the first on island, right, and arguably maybe the biggest.
Just throwback. There's a guy Sean Simon on Molokai, like Crossfit Molokai, and then there's a White Castle Fire Station. They were kind of more like the first episode groups. So maybe we're the first affiliate, but there was some other old school groups out there.
Fair enough. Like you have a lot of like history. You know exactly like who's what and where. That's awesome. But as far as a awesome, successful business box owner, what do you think are kind of like your top tips for any other aspiring gym owners, coaches, etc.?
For gym owners, I think a lot of people aren't good at coaching, but they think they're good at coaching. Right? And I think that's really easy, especially if you're not willing to take feedback yourself. Not a lot of people are, I think it's called autodidacts, self-learners. So a lot of people aren't able to give themselves feedback to get better, and if you're the top dog, you kind of think you're good at coaching, but maybe you're not good at coaching because the results don't bear that out. So that's hard. You always want to continue to get better at coaching, which is a service to people. You're interacting with people to make them better. So you might be polarizing, where you can get along really well with one group of people, but the other group of people you're not going to get along. So it just depends on what you want to do. If you want to get along with more people and help them, then that's something that you should work on, your coaching skills. So I think that's ultimately what brings people in and keeps members around.
Yeah.
And that's hard because it's a continual thing. And then for business owners, probably any business, I mean, just find people that have done it that you expect and ask questions. We're lucky with CrossFit because CrossFit, you get people that have made a lot of money and not made a lot of money. You got military people, you got local people, you got old people, young people, you got everybody coming to CrossFit. So even if you're not the coach or whatever, you're going to find a lot of people to talk to that have a lot of experience, and I've been really lucky because I've got a lot of good ideas. I probably didn't listen to half of them, and I probably did the other half wrong, and then I probably was like, nah, I don't need to do that. But we had some big wins, so that made up maybe for all the other stuff. And then as a business owner, you just got to balance between working in the business and on the business. So sometimes, like, when you're coaching all the classes, then you got to take time to kind of figure out the other stuff. If there's mess ups, however you set up your business or whatever. And then on the flip side, you can't forget about people, members and stuff like that, and kind of get caught up on side stuff. There's a balance there. But you got to be good at coaching first. And I think I tell people that, and they're like, yeah. Well, you're probably not because look at where you're at. And it's not bad if you started there, but if you're kind of plateauing, then that's kind of maybe what it is.
That's a good point. And like, how much do you invest in your coaching side, making it better? You're gonna have a class later today.
Yeah, we have coaches that. We always try to do it. We kind of have a company intranet thing where we put out a lot of coaching info and videos and quiz people, and we do impromptu things and feedback, and we have feedback sheets for stuff. And just trying to keep that mindset where people don't shut off their mind, where they don't want to learn anymore. It's like, oh, I learned it. If you look at people like Coach Bergner, when they come in, they're still learning about lifting, so it's like, they're like, fuck you, I'm not learning about this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same thing, everybody's learning about stuff or how to apply it a little bit differently. I've probably seen most videos out there a lot on certain things. The other day I saw something different on ring push-ups I hadn't seen anywhere else. But we do a lot. I'd like to think we do a lot, and we want to do more. I always want to do more on coaching. So, not just the techniques, but how to interact with people. That's harder.
Yeah, I think that's a huge point. Is that person-to-person interaction. Coaches can coach stuff, but they can't personally interact with people.
No, that's the coach-athlete relationship. Right? You look at it because you're going to see something, you're going to have to identify it based off the model, what's wrong, and you're going to have to do the cue, and then you're going to have to watch to see if it works, and then you're going to have to decide if it worked or not, like which way you're going from there. So there's a process of that coach-athlete. I mean, Michael Phelps has a coach, Tiger Woods has a coach, so everybody needs a coach.
Okay. Oh, well, sorry. You do it.
Alright, so things are going well. Kind of like a somewhat well-oiled machine now, right? So you guys have been around for how many years?
Since 2006.
Okay, that's 8 solid years. Now, so any idea of what the next 3, 4, 5 years will be?
Currently, I'd say top 3 on my list is just I'm trying to always give people more. The members always want more, believe it or not, of things. So we're trying to figure out how to do that, whether it's training programs or equipment or whatever. And then the coaches, we want to fulfill a lot of the requests that the coaches have, if we can go for coach eds or opportunities or training for how to get people in and how they can make a job out of it. So we're just trying to do that, give people more and just be consistent. And on the back end, we try to make everything a lot clearer for the staff. So that they know what's happening and things like that. That's kind of boring stuff now. I guess it's not as fun as building out a gym. I love building out training and stuff like that. So, but those are things you need to do to kind of make stuff solid and smooth. I think it always goes back to membership. I mean, coming around 2015, we're going to have a lot of cool stuff for the members. We keep adding more and more stuff to the classes. I think it's hard for people to notice because it kind of happens slowly and you get used to it. If you go back to where our classes were a couple years ago, I mean, our classes are way better. So,
you guys have your own training philosophy, or do you borrow from different gyms from over the years, or
what is a training philosophy?
how do you structure your programming?
Oh, the program. So we do I would consider CrossFit. I guess is the thing. Or, you know, we just kind of do obviously the constant very functional movement, high intensity, but we're doing this trying to include a well-roundedness between short and long workouts and body weight and weightlifting and not having it too skewed in any one direction. So that's what we try to do with the programming. It's not going to be, when people are coming in to exercise, they're coming in, they're having a good time and they enjoy it. If you're coming in to train, which Rippertoe makes a distinction if you guys want to read about that, they're going to be doing the consistent type of training programs, whether it's competitive CrossFit or not. So for the people doing training programs, we want to have an option for them somehow. For people coming exercising, we give them the best vanilla CrossFit they can. And it's not really like a bad thing, I think. I think it's executed really well. We have unique warm-ups, we have progressive overload before the classes and the personal strength goals, we have cool downs and stuff. And then we make sure we don't repeat a lot of the workouts, so we make sure it's all there. And we make sure the coaches are trained to know how to teach it with stuff like that. So it should be entertaining class. So it's a lot.
That is a lot. I'm excited to see what you guys made. I'm excited to see where you guys go next. Continue to oil the machine. But thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us and touring the gym. And Tito's behind the cam. We got Dustin over there on the side looking sexy.
The hype man.
And we'll see you guys next time. That's like... I'm gonna get stuck. I know. I don't want to be that bad. Taking us to school.